welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, 18-hour special initiative that celebrates the undying entrepreneurial spirit of micro, small and medium enterprises. On the show today on Insight, we'll feature a conversation with iPredict, and on Bright Sparks tonight, the company we're featuring include PM Bhavsar Balloons and the Villa Escape. Now, everyone is talking about big data and analytics, so we here on the Leaders of Tomorrow caught up with one such company that specializes in breaking down and analyzing data for MSMEs. iPredict works very closely with the retail space, and I caught up with them to talk about big data for small companies. Take a listen. Let me, start this conversation off by asking you to explain to our viewers how exactly a model works.
Right. So let's take before I answer this question, let's take travel towards 1 decade back. During that time, if you see companies and businesses who were largely dependent on 2-3 touch points of the consumer. I'm just giving you one aspect of how data analytics influences today's business. And today, if you see, the touch points are almost innumerable. I mean, they'll range from 15 to 20 touch points each company is going through. Having said that, the data today is available through cloud hosting across the globe. So organizations across the globe can actually look at the same data which is being relayed. Now after that, the analytics, the piece of analytics comes, because you have in this competitive environment, you need to take decisions in real time. And those decisions are not based on univariate analysis. So if you see, again, going back to a decade back, bosses would use their intuition, their hunch to decide what needs to be done with respect to several decisions that were made at that time. Say who to hire, what compensation to give, what kind of organizations to have, and all that stuff.
All of that is being done by data now.
Now it's being done by data. So data in itself will create business rules for you, because that's going to help you, understand data which has been lying in the rug, under the rug, and you need to perhaps unravel that and understand what it means for your consumers, for your internal employees, for your external partners, with respect to government regulations, and all of that can be built around, predictive models, descriptive models, prescriptive models, with data science today.
And that's where your company really comes in.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You also have something called data as a service, and
right.
Explain that concept to us, because we are only talking about SaaS, but now you're talking about DWAS.
Right. So data as a service is not a new concept. It's been there for a long time in the form of IT services. Okay. Today, because data science is a specialized area, and it requires special skills to be able to conduct those use those analytical tools. Therefore, we've turned it to be a little different from IT services, which is more infrastructure, to now data as a service. So we look at the company's data, we spend time cleaning that data, deploying multiple models on that data, and then deriving, either inferences out of that or prescribing certain new prescriptive models for each
fair
one
enough.
of these data.
So let's break it down and talk about how MSMEs and small businesses
right.
can really use data, and where they should start. What should be the starting point? Where should they start these conversations?
So I think for SME, it's very important to understand what data do they collect today. Say, for instance, somebody walks up to a retailer, what kind of data can I collect? And that data needs to be first figured out how to save that data, how to structure that data. Now, after that, what kind of analysis do you need from your business perspective? So for all of them, you need to be able to understand what data points you have and what models do you need. So I think for them, starting point is, first collecting that data. Okay. I think that's where India is today. I think predictive and other modeling piece would come little later, and it'll take about good 1 or 2 years for that segment of users to actually come on board.
Okay. Let's talk specifically about some of the industries that you work closely in. I understand you work very closely with the e-com industry, you work very closely with telecom, FMCG. Maybe break it down, give us 1 or 2 quick examples of how these industries can and are using analytics and big data.
So in the e-commerce industry, we've been trying to solve a much bigger problem. And in that context, if you see how banking industry operates and contains their losses by ranking the customers, credit risk, we have proposed to RBI and to Ministry of Commerce that can we build a similar platform for e-commerce fraternity. So you have all the e-commerce companies pouring their transaction data into this data lake and would be able to access the credit risk of the customer, because 80% of the transactions on e-commerce is COD, and in COD, if there are returns, if there is a fraud, if there are some other problems, then the e-commerce companies go through huge losses.
And COD itself is being blamed for a lot of the losses that the commerce industry
So it's imperative for the e-commerce companies to actually figure out if the customer is worthy of giving COD. And if not, the platform should just flag it off and say, hey, this customer is not worthy of getting COD, and therefore just push him for a digital payment. And that way, so that's CIBIL kind of structure we've built, and we have also patented that technology.
You were talking about patents, and I noticed you're about a year old. You were started in 2015, and you already have 3 patents. That's not what a lot of companies in India do right now. Maybe because of the way the environment is, maybe it's because of the cost. So, walk our viewers through what your own experience has been and what your advice would be for those companies that are perhaps looking at going to the patent route.
So I would say that patent is a must for all companies who are embarking on journey of either entrepreneurship or doing some new ideas. What patent gives you is access to, through patent search, you get access to huge list of information available across the world. So it's called patent search, which allows you to learn about products and thought processes and details of other patented products from across the world. So and having said that, what it ends up for you to do is to figure out your place in that world of ideas. So once you figured out that world of what place you want, then you need to actually describe it. Now once you start doing that, you get into a lot of detailing of the product, and that really helps you clarify your own mind as to what are you trying to build and why are you trying to build. I think lots of questions which go unanswered, and just because of novelty of the idea, or you borrowing it from some other country to implement in India, it doesn't work. I mean, that's why we say 99 out of 100 companies do not mature in startup environment. It's reason because you just haven't thought through completely, and patent allows you to do that.
But do you think there's enough innovation that's really happening in the MSME, startup, entrepreneurial space in India right now? Enough R&D, enough thought process that's going into innovation? And if not, what do you think is really holding back the ecosystem as a whole from going through this innovation process?
Some of the big companies that you hear of today, they would probably be based on some borrowed ideas. So if we really want to do away with something like that and build a global thought processes, I think there you need to do lots of thinking. You need to really involve academics, and we work with some of the professors at IIM and Delhi University to help us understand better on products that we are trying to patent. Now they really come in with lots of thought processes which are futuristic, and they help you clarify things right away. So I think there is a need to, and of course entrepreneurs should try and see if they can follow this, is need to spend a lot of time preparing for the war than just going into the war.
All right, it's been a very interesting chat, and as we wind down, what are the next few years looking like for you? You're about a year old, so what are maybe the next 3 to 4 years looking like?
Right. So like I believe now that ideas of the future will be not based on novelty, but will be based on actual hard data. And those hard data points are available across the consumer segment. So we picked up 3 ideas, which we are planning to take it to its logical end. So one of the ideas that I want to talk about is Careerlytics. Now Careerlytics is an idea which is not available across the world. It's a unique idea, and we want to take it global. It allows any consumers to actually look at a career map based on the data. We have taken this forward to the enterprise sector as well, wherein the toughest thing to do today is to parse the data to understand which is job description matching with which company. So we look at the job description and we look at the cultural values and candidate map. So we give employability score. So these kind of ideas which are unique, which are not available using patent search, we came to know about this, are things that we should be doing. And we have all the capability to actually go out in the world and conquer. And my biggest competition is the global powers, whoever they might be. I really want to take this product to the global level in India, out of India.
Okay. Time for a break here on the Leaders of Tomorrow. On the other side, Bright Sparks tonight are PM Bhavsar Balloons and the Villa Escape. Welcome back. You're with us here on the Leaders of Tomorrow, and tonight on Bright Sparks, I'm featuring PM Bhavsar Balloons and the Villa Escape. Irrespective of age or occasion, balloons always bring a smile to one's face. That said, the balloon manufacturing space is highly fragmented with players of all sizes. So what are the barriers to entry in this business, and can customer service and experienced staff serve as a substitute for cutting-edge technology? Pooja Jain visited PM Bhavsar Balloons headquarters to find out more. Take a look.
Balloons with a sheer range of sizes, shapes and colours always lift one's spirit. But that said, the industry itself is somewhat insulated from innovation. Nonetheless, with name brand clientele placing recurring orders, third-generation family business PM Bhavsar Balloons has managed to crack the competition. A champion for product customization, the company shared the fun-filled secrets to its success.
I'd like to kick things off with a basic overview of the product landscape when it comes to balloons. But can you help us shed more light?
We categorize them into rubber balloons, which can be printed, customized, used for birthdays, corporates, etc. Then comes the giant advertising balloons. They are used for varied advertising purposes, flying the sky high with branding, give more eyeballs at a very cheap price. And then come the inflatables that can be customized as per the customer needs, which is actually a game changer. The whole key with balloons is we are probably the cheapest and the most attractive form of advertising.
From procuring the raw materials to ultimately retailing on shelves, how are balloons manufactured exactly?
It basically starts with the latex coming in from trees from South India. So where the whole magic happens, where the balloon actually comes to life, is when we do the customizations on them. So we have printing on them, right from the smallest, like wishing a birthday on the balloon, to way up higher when it goes to corporates who use these small balloons for a lot of reach by having their brands on them, distributing amongst kids, amongst adults. It goes for decorations. Similar with the advertising balloons, where the whole balloon changes when their brand comes on it.
And what type of in-house infrastructure setup is required to have an edge in this business?
It takes a lot actually. We are in this business from the last 65 years. My grandfather started it, then my father, I'm the third generation now. So we have the expertise, we have the experience, and so does our staff. So we know exactly what training is required, we know exactly what chemicals are required to make the balloons better. We know exactly what is the pressure that is needed in the sky balloon. We know exactly what is the material that is required in the inflatables. So we have that know-how. We have a strict quality check where the balloons are tested for leakages. If some of the balloons have lesser coating, they're disposed of. And then only the best come out. Then they go back to our other facility for packaging and weighing, and then they're dispatched all through India.
Balloons are universally enjoyed. That said, how do you categorize your customers, and what do these customers care most about?
So categorizing actually happens with the lowest rung. The people who are also selling on the roads are customers. They go either directly through us or through our other retailers. We wholesale as well. So they are one. The others happen households, where people use a lot of balloons, households. Then happen parties. So most of the event companies are clients. So everyone comes to us with their own requirements. and then goes to corporates, the biggest of the corporates, the food chains, the retails. So they are all our clients. They take different kind of balloons for suiting their needs. And the whole key is matching their requirement with our expertise, the timelines, the delivery lines, and the quality. That is where we lead.
I think it's safe to say that balloons will never go out of style. That said, what innovations from your point of view are most likely to shape the domestic balloon landscape in the future?
The whole thing about this industry is not a lot of innovation happens, or probably a lot of innovation already happened. So the whole key is delivering the customer more than what they actually dreamt of. This whole thing, the whole business about balloons is actually delivering a dream, the experience, creating an experience. That is where we actually are winning the whole game. So creating that whole experience for the customer better than what they imagined, creating with different methods that we have learned over the while with the experience. That is the whole thing. That is where the whole innovation actually happens.
With its own manufacturing unit, quality control lab and R&D division, PM Bhavsar Balloons has established an edge in the balloon business, essentially by bringing the end-to-end process in-house. Whether it's customizing printed rubber balloons, broadcasting a brand with its giant advertising balloons, or capturing the customer's attention with its shaped inflatables, PM Bhavsar is empowering people and products to attain their full potential without a pause.
India is one of the fastest growing outbound travel markets globally. With the rising number of travelers in India, the demand for out-of-the-box experiences are keeping companies on their toes. Palumi Mukhopadhyay caught up with an entrepreneurial couple who turned their passion for travel into their profession and gave birth to the Villa Escape. Take a look.
The adrenaline rush after riding an elf sledge. Bonfire in the middle of an icy forest. Crunching snow with your winter boots while you walk. Witnessing something startling and rare, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We are talking about the Northern Lights, and one company that offers you all this and more is the Villa Escape.
What made you start a company on luxury experiences, especially on the theme around Northern Lights?
Yogi and me are both avid travelers, and we've been traveling for forever. And in fact, in one of our earlier travels, we both love the cold. So in one of our earlier travels, we had been up north and we experienced the Northern Lights. And you know, travel has always been our calling per se. So I think it was just about time at that point to convert our passion into a business model.
Since you're a holiday specialist when it comes to experiential travel, what are the services that you provide to the consumers exactly?
So let me put it this way. Right from the time you decide you want to go on a break, I can help you right from there to the time you get back. So what we do is sit with you personally, get to understand what your likes, dislikes are, what kind of holiday you want to do. So we recommend different destinations. Not only that, we recommend the kind of hotels, boutique hotels, villas, you know, everything from A to Z. We put it together for you so you have like a stress-free holiday.
So when it comes to the experience factor, how are these destinations different from one another?
Now the main difference between, like for example, a Norway or a Finland or an Iceland, the main difference is the topography. So each of these destinations look completely different from each other. If you want to stay in a glass igloo, you can do that in Finland. If you want to experience like the Blue Lagoon, which is geothermal waters, hot springs, you can do that in Iceland. In Norway, you can go on a cruise to see the fjords. So you have like a complete range of different activities and experiences that you can experience everywhere.
The Villa Escape is not just for tourists. It's for travelers who enjoys connecting with nature, believe in experiential holidays, and want to spend some me time in a slow travel.
So your experiences are really luxurious. What about the premium pricing for the same? Aren't you limiting yourself by only catering to a niche audience?
I wouldn't say we are premium. I would say the Villa Escape is experiential. So it's not the cost that you're paying for top of the line, going way beyond. It's the experiences. Now when you're going snowmobiling in the middle of the night on a frozen river, those experiences cost a bit more than what you're paying. So it's not premium in terms of pricing, but in terms of experiences.
Right. So what does the Villa Escape offer to the consumers that other companies in the same space are not offering?
The Villa Escape has been around for 6+ years. Okay. Now over these years, we built a lot of local contacts. We built a lot of on-ground support. Now when you're doing places like the Chasing the Northern Lights, when it's -10, -20, you want to have somebody who you know on ground, not somebody who's called via the internet. So this is what makes us stand apart from everybody else.
Thanks to the information readily available on the internet, a lot of travelers are planning their trips on their own. Do you think that poses any kind of challenge to your company?
No. I'd say internet is a bane as well as a boon. Okay, definitely the Northern Light experience, everybody knows through the internet. But now why is it a bane is because there's so much over information that one gets confused. And you start double guessing yourself. Oh, is this the right place to chase the lights? Which is the right month to chase the lights? So it is where curators like us come in and help you sort out that confusion.
So what is the expansion plan looking like? New destinations, new experiences? What's in the kitty?
The Villa Escape is planning to expand to Greenland, to Mongolia. These are new places that are really exciting us. Apart from that, we are doing a lot of culinary based holidays, cycling holidays in Tuscany, Provence. We are going to Japan as a local, not as the tourist part of Japan, but more experiential. So the Villa Escape is looking at all these places.
Poised to account for over 50 million outbound tourists by 2020, India is one of the fastest growing outbound travel markets in the world. And companies like the Villa Escape ensures that you never run out of holiday hot lists if your flavor is luxurious experiences.
Tonight we discuss big data for MSMEs. Do remember that if you're a company that wants to be featured here on the show, you can write to us at leadersoftomorrow@tanzgroup.com. You can reach us on social media using the hashtag LOT. You can tweet at me personally using the Twitter handle Sunanda_J, or call us on that number you see flashing on your screen. We promise to have all your questions answered. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.